Hi there. Welcome to Tuesday's Tips. This is going to be a new feature that I'm offering, and hopefully it's going to be a weekly thing. And I'm just going to spend a few minutes with you and point out just a little odd tip or trick that might help with your photography. And today what we're going to be doing is going through a tip in Lightroom, and something that I think is overlooked a lot by a lot of photographers, and hopefully this is going to benefit you. So let's go ahead and get rolling with it. Okay, here we are looking in Lightroom. This is obviously the Develop module, as you can see up here at the top. This is one of my recent photos that I've taken. This is the raw input. I have done nothing to it. You can see over here inside none of the sliders are moved. And just to confirm, we're going to reset it. So everything is now raw, exactly as it came from camera. And what we're going to talk about today is a feature that has a lot to do with the final product and your final edit. And when I'm talking about things like color profiles, you might think automatically the presets, which are over here. That's not what I'm talking about. That is actually something that will go through and do an edit to your image. What I'm talking about are the color profiles over here. And if you look underneath the histogram at the top and down here, you have auto, black and white, and HDR. Most everybody, I think, knows when you hit the black and white button up here, it switches things to a black and white picture. Okay, that's not earth-shattering by any stretch. But we're going to toggle that off, go back to the just regular raw import. What we're talking about here is beside profile, you're going to see Adobe Color, and by default when an image is imported into Lightroom, it is given a color profile that Adobe has specified, and it's generally a pretty good profile, but it does affect the colors. And for those that are real big into color science with like the Canon color science or Nikon color science, things like that, it's going to change those colors. So if you are importing in and leaving it in Adobe Color, you're not using your camera's color science, and I'm not here to say that you have to use your camera's color science, but this is where it kind of starts. And if you clicked this Adobe Color up here, you'll get a bunch of things here, and your list will look different than mine, but what we're seeing here are different profiles that can be applied to your image. Now, to do this, you have to go through and click the individual ones, and it's kind of hard to compare, and this is a limited list. So what I'd like to share with you is this little set of 4 boxes over here, and when you hover over it, it says click to show profile browser. That's where we want to go. This opens up everything, and this first box or first block up here are my favorites, and these are ones that I use a lot. But below here you've got other ones. We've got camera matching, and this is where your camera color science comes in. If you want to use what is already set with your camera, you can come in here and use, and they'll be titled different for each brand, but for Canon I've got Faithful, Landscape, Neutral, Portrait, Standard, Monochrome. I can pick any of those and go with that for my edit. But since we're in Lightroom, we have other options. We have these artistic ones here, and obviously every profile is not going to work for every picture, but depending on what colors and your composition, you might find something that works. Real interesting thing here is you've got all of these with black and white. They're numbered down until you get into the filters. This is a throwback to the time of black and white film, when photographers would put different color filters on to change how the tones would relate to one another. So you can come over here, and the nice thing with this browser is you can hover over the different boxes and see how things are adjusted. And we're going to kind of go through here. We're going to pick something, and let's just say we like Modern 7 for this. That's not what I'd used when I edited it, but it's going to help because I'm going to show something else here. With some of these profiles, you've got an amount slider up here at the top, and if you kind of like what's going on but you want more or less, you can adjust by pulling that slider to the left and to the right, and you see how the picture is changing. This will also give you an idea of what is being changed with this profile. And the further you go to the left, the closer you get back to the basic Adobe color profile. Further you go to the right, the more that effect is put in. So we just go and zero back out at 100%. Once you get a color profile set, you hit close, and here's the magic. Nothing has been changed on the sliders. You are not doing an edit. You are not changing anything. The presets that a lot of people like to use actually go in and change the sliders. Here you have just your basic raw image with a color profile applied to it that now you can go in and start doing your edit however you want to do it. And we'll get into that at another time. So thank you for joining me, and I hope this has been beneficial for you. If you have any ideas or suggestions, please let me know, and I'll try to cover those as the weeks go on. I also offer workshops. I do mentorship, so if this is something that you'd like to delve more deeply into, let me know, and we can put something together for you. Thank you, and we'll see you next week.